everybody, and welcome back to CK Café. Today, we are joined by a very special guest, Nicole Rivera from Dead Horse Productions. She's an actor. She's an amazing producer. She works in the theater space and the film space. And we had a wonderful conversation about her journey as an actor coming from Puerto Rico to New York, her journey at NYU, and where she is now with her plays and her shorts and everything that she's making with Dead Horse.
Yeah, we had a really fun combo. So excited for you to hear it. So without further ado, here's our chat with Nicole.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to CK Cafe. Here with Rosie and with the amazing Nicole Rivera.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, about what you do, your art? Everything?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I know you do a lot.
Period. Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
So hi, my name is Nicole Rivera. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and I came to New York at the very young age of 17 years old to study acting. And I kind of just like jumped right in, and then I was immediately overwhelmed. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. I took a step back. I ended up going abroad for a little while. I'm still studying, obviously. Then I was like, no, what am I doing? I need to lock in. So yeah, I came back, immediately started I ended up taking a minor in business. And I was like, there's so much to learn about this whole industry, besides just acting.
Yeah.
And obviously having talent and skill is a really good thing, but unfortunately it can only take you so far. So I just just threw myself into learning as much as possible as I could from different aspects. And then my senior year I started producing, and then right after I graduated I started my own production company with a few of my best friends, and now we've done a few plays and a few short films, and we have more stuff lined up, and yeah, really exciting stuff.
Oh my goodness.
And really hard stuff, but we're out here.
That's
doing
awesome.
Our best.
I'd love to hear it. Love to hear it. You do so much, and it's so exciting because I want to talk about it all. But I think let's start with your journey, how you sort of started with just getting into the arts in general.
Yes, I have this really specific memory of me being 6 years old, in the back of the car, and being okay, so obviously I'm gonna go into the arts. I didn't know what, but I just I knew from a very young age that I was not going to go into science or math or anything that required anything of that. And I was always a very jumpy kid. I was I need attention, look at me, I'm here to perform and whatnot. And then I had a brief period when I was in middle school where I was oh my gosh, singing. But then I was actually not, no. And that kind of led me, I think just naturally to, acting.
That's great.
And then in 7th grade, I discovered what New York was, really. And I was oh my God, I want to move to New York and be an actor. So I, decided on NYU at, 13 years old. So I, dedicated my whole, high school career to doing that. And then I was oh, maybe I should have, had other options and stuff. I was I really put
But you got in.
I know, and that was crazy.
Amazing.
I have a video of me getting in. It's just me the crazy thing was that I was visiting New York when I got my acceptance. So I was literally in Grand Central.
Wow.
And I was about to go back to the hotel to leave. And then I was I got it. And I literally just fell to the floor crying. And I was with my dad, and people were walking past staring at me and I'm it's New York. It's not the weirdest thing you're going to see all day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a very heartfelt moment.
That's so funny that you said you decided on NYU from a really young age, because me too.
Really?
When I was in 5th grade, my teacher made us write letters to ourselves when we graduate high school. And then she kept them all those years and then mailed them to us when we graduated high school. And I opened my letter from my 5th grade self, and it was I hope you're going to NYU for musical theater. That's our dream.
Did.
And I did, which is crazy.
That's so cute.
I know. So there's something about NYU that has kids manifesting from a young age.
Literally.
I wanted to go to NYU too.
Really?
I ended up not going to college, but that was my dream. It was the only, I applied to 3 schools, and NYU was one of them.
But you did do the summer program.
I did a summer program
I also
at
did a summer
Steinhardt.
at Steinhardt.
Yeah.
Whoa,
and I
what did you
loved
study
it.
there?
It was like a music business thing.
Oh,
It was
heard
really
of that. I've heard of
interesting. It was
that.
very fun.
Whoa.
And then I got an internship right out of there and started working in like the music industry. It was
Oh,
very cool.
period.
And then at that moment I was like, NYU's the best. And I'm like, there's so many great connections. But then,
Mhm.
I didn't end up going. No
Yeah.
college for me. But tell me about your college journey. I mean, NYU, I think you both have such similar journeys.
We both went to Tisch,
This
which is
true.
crazy.
It's amazing.
Tisch gang,
Yeah,
Tisch
what
gang.
studio were you in?
I was in Stella Adler, so I was there. They kind of, for those who don't know, they like kind of make you do 2 years of the studio that they put you in, and then you have like the freedom to move around. And it was so funny because Stella Adler is kind of known for being like the very intense, like rigorous one. Like we weren't allowed to have like any jewelry. You had to go in all black. Like if you were 5 minutes late, the door would be closed and you could not come in. And if you had more than 2
What?
tardies, they would bring your grade down. It was a lot. So I remember like after my freshman year, I was like, oh, I don't know this is for me. Like I'm ready to leave. And then second, like end of sophomore year, they kind of make you have this meeting with all the third year teachers and like some third year students. And Stella Adler is known for being like a 3-year program, so they really emphasize like if you can stay, like do choose to do third year. And I was like, I had always been planning to do like my whole junior year abroad. And I was like, I've been feeding like my art self. Now I need to feed like my human self and just
Sure.
like go like live different lives.
Yeah.
And then I was like sitting in that room with all the third year people. And I was like, oh, I'm getting this like icky gut feeling that like I think I need to come back. So I like thought about it so much like over the summer. And I was like, okay, I'm for sure doing the fall abroad. Like that was already like done and like registered and whatnot, and I was really excited to do it. But then I was like, I think I just need to come back to New York in the spring, because also being abroad, I was just doing academics, and I was like, at the end of the day, I'm in this school to be in acting training. So like it did feel a little bit of like, as much as I did just want to like travel and like live around the world, I was like, I think I need to go do the reason I'm in the school for.
Yeah.
And it was actually the best decision I could have made. I ended up meeting like my best friend that semester I came back, who ended up launching the company with me like later on. So, and she also like chose like last minute to return to that semester to Stella Adler. So it was kind of like a crazy universe thing where it was like, we're meant to have taken this path. And it was so amazing. And doing that third year like there like really cemented in me like, oh no, I actually like love this place and I love the training that they do. And I think it was exactly what I needed as an artist and as an actor. And I really do understand why they say like come back third year, because everything just locks in that third year.
Sure.
It's like freshman year, you're just giving so much, like so many exercises and stuff that you're like, I don't understand this. Like, what is this? It doesn't make any sense. It's like you would just need to give it time to like marinate and cook.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you'll see. But
So
yeah.
much of acting training is just letting things marinate, and then they just click one day, and you're like, oh my god.
No, it's crazy.
It's the best though. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then okay, so you finished out your third year at Stella, and then you went to Stone Street senior year?
Yes, and then I went to Stone Street my senior, which was always my plan, because I was like, obviously Adler had like this one like film class that wasn't really a film class. It was just like we would film like little self-tapes in front of a camera, so that was like the most hands-on experience with cameras that we got.
Yeah.
So I was like, I definitely feel like confident in now like my stage abilities and that kind of stuff, but I really want experience in film, and like being in front of a camera is a whole other world to an actor than like being on a stage. So I was like, I always planned on going to Stone Street my senior year and just diving into the world of like film, and I found it really helpful, honestly, like because when you're in Stone Street they make you do a lot of like not just acting, but you learn to do a lot of the different roles. And I think since that was ended up kind of being paired up with like my business minor at the time, I was like, wait, I'm learning so much about all the other positions that it takes to like make something. I'm not just looking at things now from like an actor's perspective, which I think just really helps like expand my mind into what this industry like takes and what it's looking for, and that ultimately like led me to producing stuff, because I was like, okay, now I understand like if I want to act in something, I can also just like make it myself.
Control the narrative a little bit more.
That's what they always say. They say make your own work.
That's it.
And I definitely heard that a gazillion times throughout my college years. It was like anytime anyone would come in and like be like, hey guys, there's a speaker on whatever, they'd be like, do it yourself, make it yourself,
grab your friends and
at
go make
first
yourself.
I was like, oh, that sounds hard. But then I was like, damn, if everyone is telling you something, it's probably for a reason.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you look, like when you analyze the career of so many people in this industry, a lot of them really just started like doing stuff with their friends.
Oh, yeah.
Like just making shit themselves. And it's like, oh, is this like a curse free?
Oh, no, you curse.
Okay.
Curse away.
Probably fuck.
That's funny. No, but I think that Stone Street does that so well. They prepare you to be like the best kind of actor, because I truly think like something that sets actors apart is if they know a little bit of everything, because then they know like how they can best serve each department. And I think that's something that a lot of people overlook. But like that's why I think set experience, even like, you know what, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna PA this week, I'm gonna go and be a swing, I'm gonna whatever, like it really helps with acting.
Yeah.
And
sometimes you just want to be in the room. Like, you just want to be in those spaces. And it's like, I've helped PA on so many things. And it's like, what do you need? How can I help? Like, I just want to be there. Please.
Yeah.
100%. I love Stone Street for that. And also, like, they'll tell you make your own work in, like, the drama, like, theater classes. But then that's sort of the extent of it. There's no, like, here's how to produce, here's how to fundraise, here's how to get a venue. Like there's none of that. So like making your own theater without any of that knowledge is really hard. And I think what Stone Street did so well is they would say make your own work, but then they would literally give you the guidebook on how. And I think that's so cool.
Yeah. And I think I felt like those classes were just exactly like that last push I needed to be like, oh, I have an idea for a script, but like, why would I write it down? And when am I going to film it? But that's exactly what those classes were. It was like, you have a script, write it, you're going to film it, you have the actors, you have all this like resources. And it was very much just like take advantage of the resources that are being provided to you right now. And obviously there's always people that are like, nah, like this is just school, but I was like, this is such a good experience. And it's so funny because that first semester in Stone Street, there was like that one class where like you write your own script and then you ended up filming it, and the teacher was like, you can just write like a 3-page scene, like doesn't have to be anything crazy. And I was like, right, does it have to be that like what if I have a 13-page script ready to go? And he was like, like okay, but like you only get like one day in the class to like film it. And I was like, yes, okay, I'm gonna film these scenes in the class, I'm gonna film the rest of it outside, because if I have the script, I'm not just gonna film like half of it, I'm gonna film the whole thing. And then if I film the whole thing, I'm not just gonna like let it rot in my computer, I'm gonna edit the whole thing and then present the whole thing. And that was crazy, and I almost died.
But you did it?
But I did.
That's amazing.
We filmed the whole thing, and it was honestly because the PA in that class, my amazing friend Aiden, he had a camera and he had this equipment. He was always like, he just wanted to help us out. He was like, oh, if you guys need help filming stuff outside of class, like I'm more than happy to like show up, lend you my camera. And oh my gosh, he literally met me and my other actor at like 8 a.m. in Central Park one day, and we were there for like hours shooting a bunch of like outside scenes. And he was amazing, and I've literally worked with him now on so many short films and other projects because of that thing, because he was just like down to help. And like I've brought him on so many projects now because I'm like, you're amazing in so many different ways. And it's literally just that, like you show up for someone once,
that connection could be there forever. And
it was so amazing. And I ended up presenting like a full like 15-minute short film for that class.
Wow.
And I was like, that was a lot, but thank you guys.
That's amazing.
Awesome. So that kind of gave you the bug right there to want to go and start your own company, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah, that was just like such a, I think, an eye-opener for like, oh, I can just do it myself. That's what they were talking about. I see now.
That's awesome.
And like my best friend that I mentioned before, she also was always very much like, and what if we just like did this? Like, what if we just like
just made this thing?
Yeah. And she was like the year ahead of me, so she was already like in grad and all that stuff, and like trying to figure out like the world after that. And like literally my senior year, while that was happening, kind of towards like the end of that, like we just got lunch one day, and she was like, dude, what if we did this play? And it was Blood Wedding from Federico Garcia Lorca. And like we had worked on another Lorca play like the year before in Adler. So, but we were literally given like the smallest roles in that show, and it was like still an amazing experience, and it was such a good show, but we were like so hungry for like more, and we were like, dude, what if we did it ourselves, and there's 2 female leads, we do the female leads, and because we're gonna do it ourselves, no one can tell us otherwise. And it was such a snowball thing in the way where like it started, and in that moment it just like started, and
That's
I didn't even
amazing.
realize we were in it till like months later, where we're like fully in production meetings with the whole team, and I was like, oh damn, we're like
This is
in
happening.
it.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Better lock in. And that was like my last semester like of school, and I was like still at studio, and I was also like working a job, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of dying.
And is that where you started your production company, like with that production?
Yes. So
Wow.
that just kind of like it like showed us the realities of how hard it is, but also it's not impossible. Like you
Yeah.
can very much do it. It just takes a lot of work and like
Yeah.
effort. And then after that we just felt like we were kind of like now on this like path, and it was like, dude, like let's just like put a name to it, like because we wanted to keep doing more, like more work, and like we wanted to also do film, and we were like, we just need to like keep creating, and like
It's
now
amazing.
we're like this kind of like our launching pad into that. So we ended up like coming up with the name Dead Horse Productions,
Yeah.
because like her and I, literally anytime we hang out, we always like end up having these sorts of conversations where we're just yapping about our careers in the industry and like so much, and it's like we will quite literally beat that dead horse like into the ground, like 10 feet below. So that was just kind of like how it ended up like coming to be. We were like, yo, Dead Horse Productions, that sounds real. That sounds like a real thing.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
love
really
the-
good name.
Love the logo too.
Oh my gosh,
really
thank you.
good.
She
really good.
drew that,
Wow.
and then her wife like designed, like embroidered it,
Oh my
like
goodness.
3D embroidered. It was crazy.
Wow.
Beautiful. Yeah.
That's
it's really
sick.
beautiful.
Super awesome. And we have like this t-shirt that has like the horse in the middle.
Ah.
But like we only have like a t-shirt for her and me. And then anytime we walk
Merch
around,
coming soon though.
yes,
Merch coming soon.
our friends are always like, I want one, and I'm like, yes, we will get on that. So much to
Yes.
do. So much to do.
Yeah, so much. Well, tell us about a little bit about what you guys are doing and what you guys have in the pipeline right now, because I know you guys have done, like you mentioned, theater productions. You've worked on film, which is very similar to what we do here at CK.
Yes.
I would love to hear about
definitely.
what
We're
you've
just
got
like,
going
guys,
on
we
right
need
now.
to collab.
I know we
Wow.
definitely need to.
It is
Definitely,
happening
we
so
have
cool.
to. What are you working on right now?
So right now we just wrapped up our second play of the year. It was an original play called Rage. It was written by a dear friend of mine that also went to Stella Adler with us, and so I've known her for a long time, and she kind of came to us with like, hey, I have this play, and I was like, that's awesome. You're gonna need like so much money, and that's always like, it always comes down to money. I
Always,
fear
unfortunately.
always makes the world go round. And she was like, I can like, I have a budget. I just don't have any producing experience. And I was like, oh, you have a budget.
Great.
Girl, why didn't you just say so? And so now I've realized that like this knowledge I've developed from just like wanting to do my own stuff, like is now like helpful to other people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I can provide you with things that now just exist in my brain.
Yeah.
So that just kind of like started, and yeah, we just wrapped that like 2 weeks ago
Amazing.
ish. And it went really well. It was so fun, and I also got to act in it because she like wrote like a role like specifically.
Oh, that's
for
amazing.
me.
Oh, I love that.
And I was like, period, love that. Thank you so much. And now we're kind of in pre-production for like 2 short films.
Cool.
They're both horror, funnily enough. We were talking about that earlier, a little bit of horror.
Wow.
It's
So
time for
exciting.
horror. And especially because we're planning to film them like later on in the summer. So I really hope that we can like have them ready for like festival season, like around October and Halloween.
Yeah.
But we will see, you know. It's good to have ambitions, and
That's
they
it.
don't always work out, but that's okay.
Yeah. We're experiencing that with our feature.
Mm.
We're like the one that we're just about wrapping. We had some deadlines, some festival
Yeah.
goals, and now it's looking like we might have to push them a little bit. But
I've
Yeah.
never
This is the
worked on
way.
a project, and I truly never have worked on a project that hasn't had the deadlines move. And it's like, because at the end of the day, especially when you're producing independent work, you're making
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
You make the deadlines yourself. You know,
Yeah.
you make the goals yourself. So when you can't accomplish them, it sucks. But
yeah.
it's part of it. It's part. Honestly,
No,
it's part of how a
definitely.
project develops. And I think every project's like its own living, breathing thing, you know. And it's
Yeah.
like it's gonna kind of guide you the way it needs to guide you. It's
Yeah.
gonna tell you when it's ready, you know.
And I think it's like I'm always like hungry to be like I want to just finish this project so we can do the next project
Yeah.
and we can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
something
Yep.
bigger and
Yep.
better. But then it's like, okay, but we also want to do this justice and like take our time with it and not rush it just because.
just
just
because,
to rush
yeah,
it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely like you try and find like a balance
Yeah,
of both of like, oh, I'm so hungry for all this and I just but it's like, okay, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Like they like to say.
100%, 100%.
No, for sure.
How do you feel your brain works differently as an actor versus as a producer? Because I often find, and you know, Rosie is very multi-hyphenate, where she's an
Mhm.
editor, she's an actress, she's a
Cool.
producer, and like I always admire people who are able to, you know, turn on and turn off their brains.
Yeah.
How do you do it? How do you especially when you're in it, you know, when you're
Yeah.
acting
Yeah, I feel
and
like in a
producing.
play and producing it, how do you navigate that?
It is very hard.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, okay, taking off this hat, putting on this hat.
Mhm.
And it's especially tricky, but I think the best I can to like help my actor self is like I try to do as much of the work like beforehand as a producer so that we are just set up to in this moment where I can just like focus on this. And
Yeah.
it is definitely like really hard because sometimes I'm like, oh damn, I've been like just worried about the production aspect of it like for weeks and I haven't had time to like analyze my lines and develop
Mhm.
my character and do like the work that makes me feel like I will bring this character to life and
Yeah.
like do it justice. So it's very much like trying to find a balance between that and like not letting one thing consume the other. And yeah, I guess just providing a space for myself where like it's like, and usually I'm never like the sole producer on something, so if I am acting I'm like, okay, like seriously, like I need this time right now to like just focus on
Yeah.
like if curtain is about to go up, I'm like, nobody talk to me right now.
Yeah.
I'm getting in the mind space. It's like if you have a question or something needs to be done, please ask that other person
Yeah.
Mhm.
that is not about to go act in this.
Totally.
But yeah, it's a really tricky thing, and I have friends who like do producing and do acting, and like they refuse to do both in one project.
Yeah.
But I've just found that like helping produce something has just opened so many doors to like acting roles as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sure, it's twice the work, but like I just want to be there, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't mind doing that extra work so that I
Yeah.
can do the whole reason I'm like in New York in the first place was just to be an
To make stuff,
actor and,
yeah.
like, be a creative and like do this sort of things. And like yeah, and I think the more, especially like with producing, I feel like the more you do it, like I don't want to say the easier it gets, but the more experience you have where it's like, okay, I've dealt with certain issues like this before, this
Yeah.
is how we're gonna solve it. Or like I can be better at like delegating certain like roles or tasks and
Mhm.
like knowing what kind of people we need on our team. And also you like start getting a sense of like who you work with best and what sort of
Mhm.
people like
Yeah.
like you can really rely on and like
Yeah.
trust.
Because it becomes a process, like with
Yeah.
producing. But that's why I think it's so interesting to do both. Because acting there's a process, but also it's like every role is a different
Mhm.
process. And it's going to require so much from you.
No, definitely.
But yeah, wow, that's amazing. It's really cool to do both. I think it's fascinating. Anybody who I meet who also does a lot of stuff like we do, I always want to know what goes on in their brain because I know what goes on in my
So
brain, and it's
much.
chaos. Yeah, it's everything.
Constant
How do you-
madness.
Yeah.
How do you like decide what projects you want to pursue? Because I imagine at this point in your career, like you have people approaching you about certain stories or certain ideas, and like how do you decide what you want to align yourself with and what you think is going to be worth that long journey of getting something up and running?
Yeah. Well, right now we have like projects that like we as a company like know that we want to eventually do. Like like for example, like we also want to work on a feature like
Mhm.
hopefully soon. And then we also have people approaching us with like, hey, I have this script or I have this project in mind and like I would
Mhm.
want you guys to like just help us produce it.
Yeah.
And then I think we're just kind of learning that when people approach us with those certain things, it's like, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to money. I'm like, we're trying to fundraise and do our best for the projects we already have lined up for ourselves, which like no one will produce but us. And if you guys like are just looking for producers, then I need you to come with me with a budget.
Yeah.
And like already like some sort of like structured plan, not very much like here is a script, please make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen. Yeah.
Because it is like a lot of work.
And I think that's what a lot of people just assume with production companies, that it is just like, you know, you just knock on their door and say, give me the money to make my thing, you know? And it's like,
we're like, we're going to read the script and we're just going to love it so much that like we're going to dedicate every second of our day to getting you that budget. But it's like, no, we need the budget for our stuff too.
There's a
like
million things. Yeah. And I think it's hard.
We have
like,
in the pipeline.
Exactly. And I think it's hard with indie productions for like, you know, I always try to get people to understand, it's like, as a producer on an indie production, you are like, you're overseeing every aspect of it, but you're not necessarily the one who's just bringing in all the money. You're hopefully maybe helping.
And you might have
bring in
connections
some money,
to people who maybe would
Yeah,
be
oh
interested
my
or
gosh.
whatever. But yeah,
I think
it's
people
tough.
just assume because they
Yeah.
don't, you know, they don't know. Writers and other
Yeah.
creatives, it's
And
tough when no one tells you how to do it or how it works. And
I
the industry is
mean,
constantly changing too. So
And that was definitely us at first. It was like we realized, getting the money is just gonna be the hardest
yeah.
part. And I think we were obviously lucky with like that first play we did like, oh my god, 2 years ago now. What the hell, time flies.
Whoa.
Yeah, because it was like our first thing, so I feel like, our friends and family are like, it's the first time we're asking them for money.
Yeah.
At one point it becomes like the 10th time and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
I only have so many like 20s I can be dropping into your GoFundMes.
Yeah.
And it's fair, like you exhaust people after a certain while, like asking for money, so
100%.
you need to kind of like develop like new ways. And fundraising is always just like the hardest part, like trying to find money to actually make your project.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I'm already struggling to do that for a project that we're like really excited to do as a company, I can't just like take your script and now do all that for yours as well.
Yeah.
But when we have someone come up like with a project that wouldn't really require much, they're really just looking more for like producer guidance more than anything, and maybe just like a company to put their name on it, give it like maybe a little bit more of like a platform for other people to see it. And it's like, okay, yeah, we can do that.
That's amazing.
We'll take
And,
a meeting.
We'll take a meeting.
Sure.
Oh boy, will we.
Yeah.
Well, what's your goal with Dead Horse? Like, what's the 10-year plan?
Is there like a
Ooh.
specific kind of story or genre or I guess I think like genre would be the best word. Is there like a message or a genre that you're hoping becomes like synonymous with your company, or do you want to do a little bit of everything?
I think, and this might just be like me as like my artist self, but like I definitely want to do a little bit of everything. Like
Cool.
I love trying different things, and then I'll try something and be like, oh, I didn't really like that. I'll try something and be like, oh my gosh, need to do that again. And there's just so much I haven't done like in both film and theater that is like I really don't think I could like limit myself to like a specific genre or anything. I think for us right now, we were just talking about Obsession earlier, and like that movie just made me think so much about like, yes, humanity and artistry, and like when people do something and you can tell that it was made by people who just love to do it and not people who are just like mass producing something for the money of it. It's like, this is gonna be on streaming in a week, so why go to the movie theaters? And it's like we really just want to like bring more of that humanity and be like, there are still artists out here like hungry to make stuff, and if you just give them like a singular chance, you will see that.
It's amazing.
And it's so funny because I truly think like what people like us are doing, people like like the creators of Obsession are doing, is exactly what audiences want to see. And these big like producers and production companies don't see that because they're just thinking about like, so who is the other A-list celebrity that we can put into this and that will sell? And like, sure, that will sell because they have established fandoms, and I understand why you're doing it. But it's like people are tired. They're tired of the same faces. They're tired of the same stories. They're just like tired. And that's why they don't go to the movie theaters or see plays or like do anything, because there's nothing new for them to see.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, we have good stories and new stories. And sometimes it doesn't need to be like the most like something like Obsession is like a pretty like this person makes a wish, it goes bad. It's like a standard storyline, but it's the way it's made and the way it's developed that then gives a whole new like twist, and it's a whole new vision because it's a whole new different person telling their perspective on this story.
Yeah.
And
I also always say, like, sometimes I think like working with lower budgets can sometimes be a blessing because you have to get as creative and thoughtful as possible with how you're going to achieve what you want. And I think Obsession is such a good example because they didn't do like crazy makeup or special effects. They did like a little bit, but it was like clearly like that's not where majority of the budget went. Like they really did a lot with such a little amount.
Yeah.
And like I think the movie is so much better for it. So I just think, like studios should just give $1 million to like 100 filmmakers instead of spend $100 million on one movie.
So true. And they could make so many movies like that are like breaking even in the first weekend of opening. And like they would be making so much money instead of losing hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
They don't even make money. They don't even make enough money to justify any of the costs. After marketing costs, after everything, it's like, why? What was even the point of that at the end of the day? And same thing with theater too. I think the same thing with like the way Broadway is kind of where it was going for a little bit. Now I'm happy to see it's trending in a little bit of a different way, I think. But I hope. But for a while it was just like, okay, if it's not a revival, if it's not a movie first turned into a musical, if it doesn't have the largest name,
a pre-existing IP,
then no one's going.
Of a movie of a musical.
Literally. And then now, I mean, I'm hoping that's going to start to change and start to bring in a few more plays and original ideas. And I think it's starting to happen, especially in the off-Broadway scene and the West End. There's a little bit happening.
West End.
Yeah, but even so, I mean, you think about it and you're just like, wow, like they care so much about the name and about the showy aspect of it. We're losing the plot of what theater is, which is just like people on stage telling you a story in the most organic way. Like that's it. That's what theater is at the end of the day. I love a spectacle. I love a big show. I love a huge campy musical.
We saw Stranger Things on Broadway.
Gosh, someone from Stella Adler, who I went to school with, is in it right now. She's playing Joyce.
Oh, so cool. Maybe we saw her.
Maybe.
But it was spectacle out the wazoo. It was amazing.
Yeah, and you want those shows every now and then on Broadway. But then you also want these like intimate stories, right? Like these like playwrights that have never got an opportunity, and like that's why I think we need more. I think everybody, Broadway, film, TV, everybody needs to start paying attention to that because
and it's so funny because so many of like my friends or the people I'm with, they're like, guys, the industry's burning down, like it's all going up in flames, and I'm like, maybe that's exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah,
maybe
because from the ashes something new will rise, and it'll be us.
Independent art. Yeah, I really do think. I've also heard a lot of people talking lately about like the independent film renaissance of the past and like how we're kind of due for a new one. And I think we are. I think like
it's happening too.
I think the Obsession is a prime example. Like it really is.
For sure.
We got to make a horror movie like Stat. Like we got to just like horror is the way to go. I think it gets people who don't go to the movies because they're like, this, I can't escape hearing about this on social media. Let me go see what it's about.
Exactly.
Like, it's the best genre to like get people to the movies, I feel.
Yeah.
And that's like the best way to like want like feel that urge to go to movies. Like, well, everyone's talking about this movie, I'm gonna go check it out in theaters because it's like, oh, does this have like a guaranteed like streaming thing like in like 2 days? Like maybe, I don't know, but it's like I feel like especially after COVID, like so many of these like big producers and production companies just started relying on like, well, people don't want to be in like crowds or in like these large spaces. They don't want to go to theater, they want to go to movie theaters. So it's like, what is something that will bring them in? And that's always like a big name, someone with a big fandom. Like, so yeah, I understand that. But like, we've gotten to such a, like, we've gone the other extremity now. And we need to like reel
But
it
word
in.
of mouth too, right? Like word of mouth.
With
like
social media, word of mouth is so, underrated, like how powerful it can be.
I've seen it with so many films and theater. Honestly, there's so many things like Mexodus on Broadway, off Broadway right now, which I didn't even know anything about, and then all of a sudden I started hearing people talk about on social media and see TikToks and all this stuff, and then just one drama desk, and then now it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and the same thing with movies like Obsession, you know, which is, this is an Obsession fan
We're
podcast
obsessed.
Yeah, we're obsessed with obsession.
yeah, and
But
I'm-
yeah,
yeah.
no, it's important. I think that we like just also spread the word. Like anytime something's good, we need to tell everybody to go see that thing because that's gonna be what encourages other people to go. Because I think what the number one thing everyone's losing the plot on when it comes to marketing is that they're focused on selling you on the big name, selling you on a spectacle, selling you on a story. What they care about is if one person went and they liked it, if they tell their friend, they're way more likely to go.
Exactly.
We were just telling you about
Yeah.
Sheep Detective and how it's really good.
Yup.
And we're
I
telling you, we're giving you
know.
all the reasons why that
And
movie
I
is
am
so
now
great. And now you're like,
intrigued.
maybe I got to go see that.
Maybe I gotta
And
check
now,
out Cheap Detectives.
yeah, whether it's in the theaters or even when you're sitting at home and you're like, Sheep Detective's on. Maybe I'll watch this. Maybe I'll watch this. I'll never. You know what I mean?
Sheep
Now you
Detectives
might
is on the
have this
channel.
like, yeah. Now you might have that inclination because of that word of mouth, and I think that changes everything. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so important.
Agreed.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Because, I mean, if I have a friend that comes up to me and I'm like, I just watched this movie, like, you need to go see. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I will check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, like, the same with theater. Like,
We gotta just spread the word.
Yeah, and like I love watching plays. Like I'm actually sickeningly obsessed with watching plays.
Yeah.
And if I see a good play, I'll immediately be like, guys, you need to see this play.
Yes.
Drop
yeah.
the money. It's
Yeah,
worth it.
yeah,
Trust
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so important, and indie productions need that because we all don't have the budget, unfortunately, to push these things out there.
We'll
into the
word of
world.
mouth your next project so
Yes.
loudly and proudly
Yes.
whenever it
word
comes
of
out.
mouth the frick out of
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything that we're doing.
Yeah, we'll tell everyone.
So
Well,
true.
it's been so great talking to you today. We really
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks
you
for
taking
coming.
time.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys
Can
for
you
having me.
of course, can you let the cameras know, let the people listening know where they can find you, where they can follow you, your production company, everything you got
Yes.
going on?
So I'm on Instagram. That's basically the only place you'll really find me at Nicole.rvra. It's short for Rivera.
Nice.
Thank you. And our production company is at deadhorse.co. It's literally on my bio, so you'll see it there if you follow me.
There you go.
Beautiful. And my website is also linked there with all my information and all the works that I do. So please check it out.
Yeah, everyone give it up for
Awesome.
Nicole.
Woo. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Annabella, for the connect.
Shout out
Always.
Annabella.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of CK Café. We're so grateful to Nicole for hopping on. Shout out to Nicole Dead Horse Productions, her entire team. They're making some really beautiful and important independent art. So please go give them a follow and check them out.
Yeah, what I think is so cool too about CK Cafe is that for a lot of our episodes this season, we've been meeting and getting to know these artists along with our audience.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because we're seeing, our relationship with them flourish from the ground up, which I think is really exciting. Like, I would love to work with everyone that we've had on so far. And it's so fun to know that it all started here on the cafe, right?
It's amazing.
It's so cool.
It's a
I don't
place to
know.
connect. And also for other people to connect, right? Like all the artists
Yeah.
we have, they're independent creatives. They want to connect with you. So if you are listening, if you're watching, hit them up.
Yeah.
Hit us up. We love to collaborate with people. And yeah, let's all just
Indeed.
keep building community. Yeah.
Community is so important. That's our New Year's resolution halfway through the year is emphasize community more, especially
Yes.
when it comes to making independent art. Because we
Agreed.
all have the same common goal, and that's
Agreed.
telling stories that matter and shaking up the industry.
Make art.
You can follow us on social media at CK Productions NY, and you will also find the socials for all our other branches if you're interested in specifically film, specifically theater, specifically records, specifically marketing with Creative Kid. It is all there. Hit us with a follow, and we will see you in the next one. Stay creative, kids.
Thanks, y'all.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.